September. I stayed up all night long, waiting for the fire ache in my heart to subside. It never happened. He was the most beautiful boy I'd ever seen, most beautiful boy I'd ever met. My favorite books, Around the Clock, Scars of My Knee. I see him behind my lids in a bright grey shirt. I see him tripping, running, falling, covered in dirt. I see a lot of these things lately, I know. I know none of it is real.
Hi, everyone. Hey, how you guys doing? Good. My name is Sophie Dawes. I'm the Southern Arizona Region Coordinator. On behalf of the University of Arizona Poetry Center, welcome to the 2024 Southern Arizona Poetry Out Loud Regional Finals Competition. Woo! We are thrilled to have you here with us today as we celebrate yet another season of recitation and performance. I would like to take a moment and acknowledge my colleague Hema Ornelas, the Poetry Center's Education Programs Manager. Hema has shown myself and the students and teachers a lot of guidance this season, and I wanted to make sure that I gave Hema a shout out. Hema is the state coordinator for Arizona. And without further ado, I want to introduce our MC for today, Logan Phillips. Logan will help keep us on schedule, and we'll introduce our competitors when they come up. Logan Phillips is a poet, DJ, earthworker, and author of Sonoran Strange, West End Press / University of New Mexico Press 2015. He holds an MFA in creative writing from the University of Arizona, where his work won a 2021 Academy of American Poets Prize. A serial collaborator, Phillips has worked on a wide range of performance, music, and community-centered education projects in the US, Mexico, Colombia, and beyond. Currently, Phillips is finishing a new poetry manuscript and publishing Novografias, a series of psychogeographic spell books, which you should ask him about. He lives here in Tucson and teaches writing here at the University of Arizona. Please join me in welcoming Logan.
Keep that applause going for Sophie one time. Awesome arts educator and all-around person. Hello, welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here. This is a wonderful, beautiful day to have the doors open and to be listening to some poems. I'm so happy to be here. Raise your hand if this is your first time ever at the Poetry Center at the University of Arizona. Awesome, welcome. Give those people a round of applause because they're here now, and that's cool. You know, this place has over 50 years of history and is only one of maybe 6 in the whole United States that's quite like this. And so we love Tucson for so many reasons, and it's so awesome to live here for so many reasons. And we get the Poetry Center. It's like frosting on the cake. So we're here to listen to some awesome poems today. These young people, as you know, have worked very hard to get to this stage. And I just want to say that it is so awesome that they have spent this time to invest in poetry, right? Poetry is so much about what is said and also what is not said, what is between the lines, what moves in us beyond just the meaning of the words. And I know that our competitors will bring that for us today. So as you may or may not know, Poetry Out Loud is a whole national program that encourages the study of poetry by offering free educational materials and a dynamic recitation competition to high schools all across the country where this is happening every year. Created by the National Endowment for the Arts and the Poetry Foundation, Poetry Out Loud is administered in the partnership with the different states' arts agencies around the country. And we are very grateful for the very awesome Arizona Commission on the Arts for their continued support and partnership. It is so cool to have national resources come into our community to benefit our young people, especially when we live in a state that doesn't always recognize the potential of young people and fund them to the extent that it should, in my opinion. A little bit about how this program works. The National Poetry Out Loud program uses a pyramid structure that starts at the classroom level. Winners advance to a school-wide competition, then to a regional, state, and ultimately to the national finals. The top 3 winners of our Southern Region semifinals here today will proceed to the Arizona State Finals, which will take place, which is very cool. This year it's going to happen at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff on March 2nd, where one winner will receive $200 and the chance to compete for a sizable college scholarships at the National Finals in Washington, D.C. Pretty exciting. Also exciting is that we have my good friend Coco Montellano here playing some music for us today. Coco is an artist, a social worker, and a DJ. Their life and work center around play, resistance, and liberation. They have spent the last few years as a graduate student working in both public school and outpatient private practice settings, providing social and emotional support for queer and trans teens and adults. This is their 3rd time DJing Poetry Out Loud, so you know that they're good. Give it up for Coco one time. That's right. All right, so we have students here today from Combs High School, Desert View High School, Flowing Wells High School, Rio Rico High School, Saurita High School, the Gregory School, and City High School. That's a lot of words. Make some noise for these poets. So the students performing today have been supported by the wonderful people in our community. They have classroom teachers standing behind them. They have school administrators, parents, guardians, fellow students, poets, and performance coaches who have come together to share their skills and talents in helping students deliver poetry and prepare for competition. We know that it takes a whole community to lift up a young person, and so let's give that whole community that's standing behind these folks a round of applause as well. And you've done so much to get to this point, and it's like winning just to even be here. So y'all are awesome for doing that. All right. I would also like to introduce our judges today, because you can't have a competition without judges. Somebody's got to do the hard work, and we got some awesome folks here who I'd like to tell you about. Dr. Treya Allen is the Diversity and Equity Inclusion Focused Faculty Instructional Support Coordinator for the Office of General Education at the University of Arizona. She is a proud first-generation college and graduate student and a triple alumna of Northern Arizona. Treya completed a BA in Liberal Studies, Sociology, a Master's in Education and Human Relations Counseling, and an educational EDD in Educational Leadership. Her favorite place in the world is the middle of a book stack of any library, bookstore, archive, or I dare say perhaps the Poetry Center. Because being one of like that entire room in there is just a library of nothing but poetry. I mean, you can just go in there and get smarter just being in the room. It's incredible. All right. M. Bowen is the former Arizona 4th and 5th grade teacher and a current middle school language arts teacher at Tucson Waldorf School. They earned their BA in journalism and Spanish from the University of Arizona and their MFA in creative nonfiction from Goddard College. They're currently back at the U of A working on their PhD dissertation. I didn't know that. That's great. In the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Social Cultural Studies. Outside of teaching, they've been involved in the Tucson literary arts community for over a decade, serving as the executive director of the awesome Tucson Poetry Festival for 3 years. Next, we have Edgardo Aguilar, who is Arizona's 2019 Poetry Out Loud State Champion. He recently graduated from the University of Arizona with a BA in creative writing and Spanish epic combination. Last but not least, we have Melissa Goodrich, is the digital strategy and marketing coordinator for the Poetry Center, which is cool. She earned her BA in creative writing and her MFA in fiction from the University of Arizona. Her work has appeared in Arizona in America, Short Fiction, Artful Dodge, The Kenyon Review Online, Passages North, Pank, Word Riot, Gigantic Sequins, and others. She is the author of fiction collections, The Classroom and Daughters of Monsters, and the poetry chapbook titled If You What. She is currently at work on a novel about the end of the world. Give it up for all of these awesome judges who are not here at the end of the world, but are here at this very awesome competition today. Cool. And helping our judges is the Poetry Center's K-12 Education Programs Manager, Ren Goblish. Give it up for Ren one time. They will tally scores throughout the competition. Many thanks to Ren for doing the math so that I don't have to. All right, so the competition is going to go like this. We're going to have 2 rounds. For each round, all participating performers are going to recite just one poem. Between rounds 1 and 2, we have a special guest performer who I'm very excited to see today, Paola Valenzuela, who will give a brief reading. At the end of 2 rounds, scores will be tabulated and 3 winners will be selected. These 3 winners will proceed to the state competition, so 3 of them get to go, which is awesome. Few reminders about the performance. You already know what I'm going to say about cell phones. Please silence them and other electronic devices. We ask that you refrain from flash photography or entering the aisles to take any sort of photographs, video recordings, snaps, TikToks, or anything else during the competition. We invite you to show your appreciation and enthusiasm following the student recitations by using the American Sign Language ASL sign for applause. To do so, you can raise both hands and then rotate them quickly from right to left. You want to practice that right now? It's irresistible. I saw you already doing it before I even asked you to. That's amazing. So again, we're not going to applaud after every poet like this. We're just going to do like that, and then we'll give them all a round of loud applause at the end. Lastly, please refrain from speaking with the judges until the student finalists are announced. All right. We ready for round one? Yes? All right, cool. So we're going to be going in reverse alphabetical order. And so what is going to happen is I'm going to introduce the poet, then I'll sit down. They're going to come up, recite a poem, then Coco is going to play some jams for us while we get the scores worked out, and then I will be back to introduce the next person. All right, I will stop talking now and finally get to some poetry, all right? Representing Saurita High School, we have Isabel Teran.
Envy by Mary Lamb. This rose tree is not made to bear the violet blue, nor lily fair, nor the sweet mignonette. And if this tree were discontent, or wished to change its natural bent, it all in vain would fret. And should it fret? You would suppose it ne'er has seen its own red rose, nor after a gentle shower had ever smelled its rose's scent. Oh, it can ne'er be discontent with its own pretty flower. Like such a blind and senseless tree, as I've imagined this to be, all envious persons are. With care and culture, all may find some pretty flower in their own mind, some talent that is rare.
How many times I told you I love you, but now you want to say that we are through. What more can I do? What more can I say to you? Now you're gone. Do you remember that first night we met? That was a moment I never will forget. Love was at first sight. You came walking through the pale moonlight. Pale moonlight. Do you remember that first night we met? That was a moment I never will forget. Love was at your first sight. Wadada. You came walking through the pale moonlight. Pale moonlight. Do-do-wop, choo-wop, choo-wop, do. 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 Do you remember that first night we met? That was a moment never will forget. Do you remember that first night we met? Babe, I need you. Do you remember that first night we
Wow, that sounded so good. Thank you. All right, next up, representing Desert View High School, Daniel Sweezy.
The Kiss by Robert Graves. Are you shaken? Are you stirred by a whisper of love? Spellbound to a word? Does time cease to move? Till her calm gray eye expands to a sky and clouds of her hair like storms go by? Then those lips that you've once kissed turn to fire and frost, and white steamy mist obscures desire. So back to their birth, fate, water, air, earth. First power moves over void and dearth. Is that love? No, but death. A passion, a shout, the deep in-breath, the breath roaring out. So once that is flown, you must lie alone, without hope, without life, poor flesh, sad bone.
Representing City High School, Isabella Roof.
In Heaven by Stephen Crane. In heaven, some little blades of grass stood before God. What did you do? Then all save one of the little blades began to eagerly relate the merits of their lives. This one stayed a small ways behind, ashamed. Presently, God asked, "And what did you do?" The little blade answered, "Oh, my Lord, memory is bitter to me, for if I did good deeds, I know not of them." And God in all his splendor arose from his throne. "O best little blade of grass," he said,
Representing Flowing Wells High School, Cadence Rish.
The Darker Sooner by Catherine Wing. Then came the darker, sooner, came the later lower. We were no longer sweeter here, happily ever after, we were after ever. We were farther and further, more was the word we used for harder. Lost was our standard bearer. Our gods were fallen faster and fallen larger. The day was duller. Duller was disaster. Our charge was error. Instead of leader, we had louder. Instead of lover, never. And over this river broke the winter's black weather.
Stay there all the time. You can call my name. Da-da-da-da-da. Wanna be on your mind. Stay there all the time. You can call my name. Da-da-da-da-da. Watching light travel across your face. And I move my clothes into your face, side by side, through different doors. I got my path, and you got yours. Wanna be on your mind, stay there all the time. You can call my name. Da-da-da-da. I don't wanna be on your mind. Stay there all the time. You can call my name. I wanna hypnotize you with the sweetest sweet. 'Cause you know I love make me complete. And in the darkest hours of the brightest day, I wanna be beside you each every way. Wanna be on your mind, stay there all the time. You can call my name.
Representing the Gregory School, Milka Gaima.
America, I Sing You Back by Allison Adele Hedgecock. For Phil Young and my father, Robert Hedgecock. For Whitman and Hughes. America, I sing back. Sing back what's sung you in. Sing back the moment you cherished breath. Sing you home into yourself and back to reason. Before America began to sing, I sung her to sleep, held her cradle board, wept her into day. My song helped her stand, nourished her very being, placed her three sisters strong. My song comforted her as she battled my reason, broke my long-held footing, sure, as any child might do. As she pushed herself away, forced me to remove myself, as I cried this country, my song grew roses in each tear's fall. My blood-veined rivers, painted pipestone quarries, circled canyons while she made herself maiden fine. But here I am. Here I am, here I remain high on each and every peak, carefully rumbling her great underbelly, prepared to pour forth singing, and sing again I will, as I have always done. Never silence unless in the company of strangers, singing the stoic face, polite repose, polite while dancing deep inside, polite mother of her world, sister of myself. When my song sings aloud again, When I call her back to cradle, call her to peer into waters, to behold herself in dark and light, day and night, call her to sing along, to mature, to envision, then she will quake herself over. My song will make it so. When she grows far past her self-considered purpose, I will sing her back. Sing her back. Oh, I will, I do. America, I sing back. Sing back what sung you in.
Broken memories. Ah, they taunt me like a bird caged by scorched wings. Puzzle pieces missing. All the grubby fingerprints that kissed the walls vanished. Like the wind without her whispering. Swept from all her tapestries would be left nothing but sullen imagery. Ah, the uncertainty of forgotten things. Broken memories, yeah. Ah, they taunt me like a bird caged by scorched wing. Puzzle pieces missing. All the grubby fingerprints that kissed the walls have vanished.
Representing Combs High School, Madeline Chapman.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bloodednings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet, the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Spending my day thinking about you, girl. Being here with you, being near with you, can't explain. me so to let you know. And I look in your eyes, you let me know how you feel. Let me know if the love is really real. But it seems to me that I'm wrapped up in your love. Don't you know that I'm still in love? Shut up in love with you, yeah.
Representing Rio Rico High School, Juliana Alvarez.
April Love by Ernest Dawson. We have walked in love's land a little way. We have learned his lesson a little while. And shall we not part at the end of day with a sigh, a smile? A little while in the shine of the sun, we were twined together, joined lips. Forgot how the shadows fall when the day is done, and when love is not. We have made no vows, there will none be broke. Our love was free as the wind on the hill. There was no word said, we need wish unspoke. We have wrought no ill. So shall we not part at the end of day, who have loved and lingered a little while, join lips for the last time, go our way with a sigh, smile.
And that is the end of round one. Let's make some noise for these performers. Awesome. Every time I am around this event, I remember both why youth are awesome and poetry is awesome, and those two are especially awesome together. Gosh, my mind has been blown. Speaking of blowing minds, I would like to introduce our featured performer, who's someone I'm very excited to welcome to the stage today. Paola Valenzuela is a bilingual poet and spoken word artist from the border towns Agua Prieta, Sonora, and Douglas, Arizona. She was a coordinating staff member of Spoken Futures, the grassroots literary organization behind the Tucson Youth Poetry Slam. In November of 2020, she published her first chapbook, Cricket's Lament, Poemas de Duelo y Inocencia. She was one of 2 artists awarded the 2021 Sonoran Arts Residency in Ajo, Arizona, and she is currently the Event and Development Coordinator for the University of Arizona Poetry Center. Please welcome Paola.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Logan, for that introduction. I quickly wanted to say thank you to my colleagues, Hema, Ren, and Sophie, who invited me to read today. I feel really honored to be reading alongside such wonderful contestants. It takes so much bravery to get in front of a mic and read a poem. So I hope you're all really proud of yourselves, because I know everyone in this room is. Yeah. Great. Yeah, and today I'll be reading some poems from my chapbook, Cricket's Lament, and then some newer work as well. 10 pieces of advice when fighting with mama. 1, silence. Before the words have even started to form in the back of your tongue, mama has already won. Spare your mouth the labor. 2, vibe check. Mama's emotions touch the surface of every living thing within this house. Do not create chaos through her. 3, humility. Los hermanos y papá will always take her side. You may be their sister and daughter, but that is their mother and wife. Her feelings are more important. 4, perspective. Understand her view of you. The same strong, stubborn force that drives her drives you. You are just as powerful. You are just as hurtful. 5, recognize her, a survivor de nuestra cultura. Count the dishes in the house. Imagine how many times she's had to wash them. Try to remember the last time Papa picked up his plate. Notice the times she's had to force a smile porque los tíos y los primos y la nana no la pueden ver enojada. She deserves the privilege of being upset, of being unpleasant. 6, honesty. She always appreciates it, but she doesn't always need it. 7, beholden. Count the scars on your body, the tears that she shed for you, and the amount of missed calls on your cell phone. Realize mama is the only person who will ever worry about you the way mamas do. 8, responsibility. Appreciate that as a mother, she has had to prioritize your feelings over hers. 9, growth. You're an adult now and your relationship is changing, mama. It is your turn to be there for her as she was for you. 10, courage. Do not be afraid of your changing relationship. Mama siempre te verá como niña. You will always be mama's little girl. Thank you. I was really excited that they invited me to be part of the Southern Arizona Regional because I'm from the South. I was part of Arizona. I'm from Douglas. And I haven't always had a great relationship with Douglas. And so this is a poem about that. Cruising down G Avenue for the last time. Leaving Kjar's house after midnight. My parents didn't care about curfews anymore. Maybe they just understood. It was our last summer home. I never liked Douglas, shitty small town, and I never liked its people, incredibly proud. But that night, Kike driving us home, Douglas was quiet, humble, no cars on the road. In my memories, it's cold and the Christmas lights are on. Maybe someone forgot to turn them on. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, memory seeping into one another. Or maybe the little town wanted to put on a show, knowing it was the last night we would belong to her. Douglas was quiet. Now I know she was beginning to mourn. Los grillos cantan canciones de duelo. These crickets, they remember us as we were young. Before the angst of adolescence and the vices of adulthood forced us to grow up. I close my windows at night, but I can still hear the chirping, echoes of the past refusing to die. No sé cómo explicarles quién soy. Ya no me reconocen. Body of woman covered in sin. They ask me where I've gone. They ask me what I've done. My song is silent, and it is enough for them to recognize. They cry my morning crickets. Only they know the anguish of watching children grow. Thank you. This next poem is after a favorite poet of mine, Kim Adonisio's Forms of Love. And this poem is a love letter to myself. I love you, even if you are fat. I love you, I just wish you had a bigger ass. And didn't make me count so high when figuring out your weight. I love your confidence, it's so brave. I love you when you're not eating fast food. I love you when you're not bloated. I love you like I love the mirrors at Target that trick you into buying clothes. I love you more than I've ever loved anyone, except for this one girl I follow on Instagram. I love you in spite of the carbs. I love you in spite of the scars. I love you when you call skipping class self-care. I love you as long as you keep working hard. I love you when you go jogging. I love you when you ignore the hunger. I love you from your therapist's office and from the Facebook comments where your tias debate the appropriateness of your dresses. I love the parts of your body you kept hidden. I love how you defined love by slowly revealing them. I love how you learned to sleep facing the mirror naked. I love the mornings when you can open your eyes. I love the mornings when you find pleasure in the image despite the comments that your tias and your mom and the TV and the magazines and that I made. I love you even if your love came from men. I love you despite your body. I love you because of your body. I love you when you can't decide. I love you. You really are brave. These next poems are about the open pit in Bisbee. If you don't know what that is, it's a big hole in the ground of Bisbee, Arizona. When my sister was younger, she thought the open pit in Bisbee was the Grand Canyon. That's so sad, someone tells me. Is it? We were children then. All we knew is that we come from a family of mineros, que los primos se van a Hermosillo y a Tucson a estudiar ingeniería minera. That the men back home are still hoping they reopen la mina, la calera, que no hay trabajo ni en Douglas ni en Agua Prieta y todos los jóvenes están yendo. When we drive by Bisbee, my friends tell me they can hear the earth weeping. Can it be so simple? I share more blood with the men who are ruining our earth than those who are trying to save it. The pit does not cry with me. It does not cry for me. It does not want my pity. I can only picture my father, 20, with 3 kids, working already like he would for the rest of his life. When Freeport fired him, my mom dropped him off at his buddy's, beer in hand. ¿Qué pasó, mamá? La compañía los chingó. The company fucked them over. Years from now, my grandchildren will curse my name. La última generación nos chingó. And what is there for us to do? I drive by the pit at night, fast enough that the curves become dangerous. Stop, step into the fence, hold on to it. Look down like I'm looking for something, like there's something to be found. There must be something to be found. The open pit in Bisbee actually has a name. Lavender, not like the color, but like the then vice president of Phelps Dodge, the mining company, Vice President Mr. Harrison Lavender. But some have told me that the pit was actually named after a minero who threw himself in the pit as protest. They say he was left to rot, not expecting the little purple flowers that would bloom from his still decaying body. They tell me the smell was so strong and so pleasant, it could be smelled from here to Ajo. But still, I've heard others call it the green pit. So folks know where to find Kevin, who sells you the best greenery in Arizona if you can make the 1,000-step climb. And I've also heard it called the blue pit, in honor of the color they mine to make jewelry for cowboys and the annual Blues Festival and your lips that one December. Do you remember how our car broke down? How your body clasped to mine? Do you remember how hard I laughed when you told me you call the pit Papa Pit, after finding out your parents conceived you right there in the visitors' parking lot? I think I laughed all the way to Douglas, just thinking of Vice President Mr. Harrison Lavender and your parents doing it right next to his plaque. Our hometown legacy. Thank you. And this last poem is titled Al Revés. I started with a poem about my mom, so I figured I'd end with one about my dad. And this is loosely inspired by a poem by my good friend Eva Sierra, which is titled Staring at the Fence. Dad was upside down in my grandmother's womb. Contreras, even as a baby, already in his veins. My grandmother, about to give birth, heard rumors of a little baby girl being hurt in the hospital of Agua Prieta, her little feet broken by a tactless doctor. With fear building inside her already swollen belly, she decided to cross. The pride for her firstborn overrode her humility, and with a proud voice asked El Migra if she could step into Douglas only for a moment. They tell me things were different back then in Agua Prieta and Douglas. Y El Migra le dijo que sí, como si nada, yes, of course. 10 miles didn't mean much back then. So Dad was born 10 miles north, American, feet first. How much can 10 miles affect a person, a family, a lineage? Nana, did your love change the course of a history? Thank you.
Amazing, yeah? Give it up one more time for Paula. Poems of this place, about this place, for this place. So exciting. All right. So let's begin round 2 of the competition. We'll have the same order as the first round. Judges, are you ready? Good? All right. We're counting on you. No pressure. All right. Representing Saurita High School, Isabel Turan.
Ars Poetica by Jose Olivares. Migration is derived from the word migrate, which is the verb defined by Merriam-Webster as to move from one country, place, or locality to another. Plot twist, migration never ends. My parents moved from Jalisco, Mexico to Chicago in 1987. They were dislocated from Mexico by capitalism, and they arrived in Chicago just in time to be dislocated by capitalism. Question: is migration possible if there is no other land to arrive in? My work? To imagine. My family started migrating in 1987, and they never stopped. I was born mid-migration. I've made my home in that motion. Let me try again. I tried to become American, but America's toxic. I tried to become Mexican, but Mexico is toxic. My work? To do more than reproduce the toxic stories I've inherited and learned. In other words, just because it is art doesn't mean it is inherently non-violent. My work? To write poems that make my people feel safe, seen, or otherwise loved. My work? To make my enemies feel afraid, angry, or otherwise ignored. My people? My people. My enemies? Capitalism. Susan Sontag. Victims are interested in the representation of their own sufferings. Remix. Survivors are interested in the representation of their own survival. My work? Survival. Question: why poems? Answer:
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom. Can I call you Rose? Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your fragrance takes over the room. Can I call you darling? I wanna play
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your thorns won't let love in too soon. Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your roots have the power to consume me. I wanna plant you in my heart. Oh, so
Representing Desert View High School, Daniel Sweezy.
I heard a fly buzz when I die, 591 by Emily Dickinson. I heard a fly buzz when I die. The stillness in the room was like the stillness in the air. Between heaths of storm, the eyes around had run them dry, and breaths were gathering firm for that last onset. When the keen be witnessed in the room, I will my keepsakes, signed away what portion of me be assignable. Then it was. Interposed a fly with blue, uncertain, stumbling buzz. Between me and the light, between the light and me, the windows fail. I could not see to see.
Treat me like, treat me like fire, fire, fire. Into the pain, into the pain, into the pain. Hey boy, I like your style. Come over here, let's talk a while. Yeah, I'm curious what we would do, the two of us. What would you like to do? I'll introduce you to my eyes, my lips, my hair. If you're good, we'll go from there. I'm feeling you, and I know that you want me to. In the end, I'm doing me. That's all you got to see. Hey, that's just how it is. But I gotta tell you this, I'm a bit too dangerous. If you want me, you should just treat me like, oh, fire, 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 fire. Into the pain, into the pain. I'm in the light, I glow, but you know not to touch me, 'cause it might burn. If it don't work, but soon you'll see the truth after the smoke.
Representing City High School, Isabella Roof.
Why? Because the Dazzling Sun by Emily Bronte. Why? Because the dazzling sun restored my earth to joy. Have you departed, everyone, and left a desert sky? All through the night your glorious eyes were gazing down in mine, and with a full heart's thankful sighs I blessed that watch divine. I was at peace and drank your beams as they were life to me, and reveled in my changeful dreams like petrel on the sea. Thought followed thought, star followed star through boundless regions on, while one sweet influence, near and far, thrilled through and proved us one. Why did the morning rise to break so great, so pure a spell, and scorch with fire the tranquil cheek where your cool radiance fell? Blood red he rose, an arrow straight, his fierce beam struck my brow. The soul of nature sprang elate, but mine sank sad and low. My lids closed down, yet through their veil I saw him blazing still, and bathe in gold the misty dale, and flash upon the hill. I turned me to the pillow then to call back night and see your world of solemn light again throb with my heart and me. It would not do. The pillow glowed and glowed both roof and floor, and birds sang loudly in the wood, and fresh wind shook the door. The curtains waved, the wakened flies were murmuring round my room, imprisoned there till I should rise and give them leave to roam. O stars and dreams and gentle nights, O night and stars, return and hide me from this hostile light that does not warm but burn, that drains the blood of suffering men, drinks tears instead of dew. Let me sleep through his blinding rain and only wake with you.
Representing Flowing Wells High School, Cadence Rish.
Flaxman by Margaret Fuller. We deemed the secret lost, the spirit gone, which spake in Greek simplicity of thought and in forms of gods and heroes wrought eternal beauty from the sculptured stone, a higher charm than modern culture won, with all the wealth of metaphysic lore, gifted to analyze, dissect, explore. A many-colored light flows from one sun, art 'neath its beams a motley thread has spun. The prism modifies the perfect day, but thou hast known such mediums to shun, and cast once more on life a pure white ray. Absorbed in the creations of thy mind, forgetting daily self, my truest self I find.
I've kept it open and wanted nobody to be my friend. I've wasted moments in the very right and lost it all. So are you smoking? Don't tell me, baby, you can't work this out. I've wasted moments in the summer nights and lost it all.
Time will tell if you can figure this and work it out. No one's waiting for you anyway, so don't be stressed out. Even if it's something that you had your eye on, it is what it is.
On your own worries, I'm nothing even with my friends, but you make me think that I'm alive.
Representing the Gregory School, Milka Gamina.
Wade in the Water by Tracy K. Smith for the Geechee Gula Ring Shouters. One of the women greeted me. "I love you," she said. She didn't know me, but I believed her, and a terrible new ache rolled over in my chest, like in a room where the drapes have been swept back. "I love you." I love you as she continued down the hall past other strangers, each feeling pierced suddenly by pillars of heavy light. I love you throughout the performance, in every hand clap, every stomp. I love you in the rusted iron chains someone was made to drag until love let them be unclasped and left empty in the center of the ring. I love you in the water where they pretended to wade, singing that old blood deep song that dragged us to those banks and cast us in. I love you, the angles of it scraping at each throat, shouldering past the swirling dust motes in those beams of light, that whatever we now knew, we would let ourselves feel new to climb. Oh woods, oh dogs, oh tree, oh gun, oh girl, run. Oh miraculous many gone. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Is this love the trouble you promised?
Representing Combs High School, Madeline Chapman.
In Praise of My Bed by Meredith Holmes. At last, I can be with you. The grinding hours since I left your side. The labor of being fully human. Working my opposable thumb. Talking and walking upright. Now I have unclasped, unzipped, stepped out of. Husked, soft, a beer only. I do nothing but point my bare feet to your clean smoothness. Feel your quiet strength the whole length of my body. I close my eyes, hear myself moan, so grateful to be held this way.
Y si me voy, quiero que tu amor esté conmigo hoy. Y si me voy, yo te doy lo que quieras porque es mi destino. Soy, por ti yo soy. Si no llores, que no quiero verte así. Estos tiempos no se acaban, la alegría no es amarga. Cuéntame lo tuyo, siempre llévame a tu mundo. Yo te doy las llaves, acompáñame en mi nave. Empieza a disfrutar, vamos a brindar.
Representing Rio Rico High School, Juliana Alvarez.
Self-Portrait with Sylvia Plath's Braid by Diane Seuss. Some women make a pilgrimage to visit in the Indiana Library, charged to keep it safe. I didn't drive to it. I dreamt it. The thick braid roped over my hands, heavier than lead. My own hair was long for years. Then I became obsessed with chopping it off, and I did. Clear up to my ears. If hair is beauty, then I am no longer beautiful. Sylvia was beautiful, wasn't she? And like all of us, didn't she wield her beauty like a weapon? And then she married and laid it down. And when she was betrayed and took it up again, it was a word weapon, a poem sword. In the dream, I fastened her braid to my own hair and my nape. I walk outside with it, through the world of men, swinging it behind me like a tail.
Where will we go when the quarantine thing done and everybody touch road? Oh, maybe gonna start, pull up in a fast car, yeah. I know fast start, make you want the fast part, yeah. I know you're feeling me, you know I'm feeling you. So what now we feel do, yeah. Hey fancy, oh your heart state, now no vacancy. Last time see you on FaceTime, chatting up the place, bout in our relationship. Me I go put you on lockdown, I put your body on lock. down. You got me on lock now. You got my person on lock. Oh, if you love me, you should let me. You should let me. You should let me know. And if you don't know, better feel let me. Better feel let me. I better you let me go. Pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. Nobody deal with the bagel and talking. Me nothing know we are chilling in an apartment. Hope you don't mind me asking, where will we go? When the quarantine thing done and everybody touch road. Mommy, me gonna start, pull up in a fast car, yeah. I know fast start, make you want the fast part, yeah. I know you're feeling me, you know I'm feeling you. So what now we for do, yeah. Say you want travel, we go Hope Valley. Say you hope in your love and not just no tally. Make my heart full of some, I love you totally. Do my own thing, I'm in no trouble, nobody. I'm watching out on the patio. And they didn't hear about them I watch me now. Swing on me, no miss like patio.
Let's give our students a round of applause. That was the end of round 2. Congratulations, everybody. You are awesome. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick 10-minute intermission. There are some snacks, some food left over there. At the very end, we're going to have some dessert, so save room. But when we come back, we're going to do some quick question and answers with our competitors to get to know them a little bit better and what's motivating them, what they're interested in. And then we will have our final scores after that. All right? See you in 10 minutes, y'all. Take it away, Coco.
Love, gotta have a lot of love, gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl. Gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl, right now. Tonight I was thinking of how we used to be. Love, gotta have a lot of love, gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl. Gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl, right now. Last night I was sleeping, my arms started reaching, searching around for you to hold you like you used to do. I want love, gotta have a lot of love, gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl. Gotta have a whole lot of love from you, little girl, right now. I want love, baby, I need love, and I want love.
It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle, and we both end up with scars. Tell me who I have to be reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. Yeah. Is this just a silly game that forces you to act this way? Forces you to scream my name, then pretend that you can't stay. Tell me who I have to be. I know what we gotta do to get so reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. I keep letting you back in. How can I explain myself? As painful as this thing has been, I just can't be with no one else. See, I know what we've got to do. You let go, and I'll let go too. 'Cause no one's hurt me more than you, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Care for me, care for me. I know you care for me. There for me, there for me. You said you'd be there for me. Cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me. Give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me? Care for me, care for me. You said you care for me. There for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me. Cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me. Give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me? Care for me, care for me. You said you care for me. There for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me. Cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me. Give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me? Care for me, care for me. You said you care for me. There for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me. Give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me? Cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me. When I need you,
place to swim. I have a rock to cling to in the storm. When no one can hear me calling, I have you I can sing to. And then all this, and then all my life, you are the lover's rock, the rock that I cling to. You're the one I swim to in a storm, like a lover's rock. I am in the wilderness, you are in the music, in the man's car next to me. Somewhere in my sadness, I know I won't fall apart completely. And then all this, and then all my life, you are the lover's rock, the rock that I cling to. You're the one I swim to in a storm, like a lover's rock. You are the lover's rock, the rock that I cling to. You're the one I swim to in a storm, like a lover's rock. When I need to be rescued, you're there. When I need a place to swim to in a storm, I think of you. And in all my life, and in all my life, you are the lover's rock, the rock that I cling to. You're the one I swim to.
This one dedicated to the girl with the ATL face and the devil heart. You know, so ragamuffin chaka, the most new part players come to deal with the case. Step up, my youth, hear this.
I know Miss Maxine, her beauty's like a bunch of roses. If I ever tell you about Maxine, you older say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote.
Real.
Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote.
Action with him, a pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Follow me. A pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Say, girl, you pretty, your face it pretty, but your character dirty. Girl, you just a act too flirty. You run to Tom Dick and also hurry. And when you find your mistake, you talk about you sorry. Come now.
Have a cozy corner where she jokes and where she jam. She know about Luke, Jack and every money man. Make love with the coolie Chinese, white man and Indian. The wickedest kind of girl that Mr. Flyers go up and now do you heard about this girl? Her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. And if I ever tell you about Maxine, you older say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. No. Murder she wrote.
Watch and now stand still. You not pay me like bill. If you test a ragamuffin, girl, you go and get killed. Girl, keep wait. Cause you a crembe. And the lyrics when me talk, it me DJ, girl, come out. Because you nah shock out. And when you hear the ragamuffin, you have to jump and shout. Don't touch me gate. You not pay me what I'm ready. Cause great is great, you underrate. From me, you pretty face and bad character. them the kind of living can hold chaka. Follow me. Your pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Say, girl, you're pretty. Your face ain't pretty, but your character dirty. Girl, you just a act too flirty. You run to Tom Dick and also hurry. And when you find your mistake, you talk about you sorry.
Now every middle of the year, this young girl have a passion for the coolie white man Indian Mexican killing his fan. And just the other day, me see her 6 months pregnant. Now she back for sweet again with not a baby in a prom. Do you heard about this girl? Her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. And if I ever tell you about Maxine, you oughta say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote, murder she wrote, murder she wrote, no, murder she wrote.
Excuse me. Y'all never know so I saw you stay. Ragamuffin Jack and they must come to flash it same way. Oh, follow me. Your pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Follow me. Your pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. So girl, you're pretty. Your face ain't pretty, but your character flirty. You run to Tom Dick and also hurry. And when you find your mistake, you talk about you sorry. The girl a boss and a brag on she look sexy. All she worship is being vanity. The girl a boss and a brag on she look ready. When she wash her clothes it dirty, girl you not ready. If you can't cook for me, girl you not ready. If you can't wash me, girl you not
Thank you.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to start asking you to make your way back to your seats. We're going to interview these wonderful students, hear a little bit about them. While people are making their way back, I just want to say how grateful I am for DJ Coco in the house right now. This has been amazing. It reminds me that there is no Spotify algorithm that will ever be as cool or as good as human DJs. Just like there will be no chatbot that will ever be as amazing as human writers. And so it's just been really cool to have that in this space today. So thank you so much, Coco. All right, so can I ask y'all some questions? Is that all right? I know it's like kind of nervous, but I have some questions for you. But feel free also to tell us anything that you feel like we should know. But Isabel, can we start with you? Awesome. So Isabel, I noticed in your bio that you submitted, you were talking about meeting people through poetry out loud and through your acting. So what do you think it is about like poetry out loud and acting that brings people together? What's been your experience of that?
Meeting people through poetry out loud and acting, it's like you're both in this together where it's like you're going up on the stage and you're like performing in front of a crowd and it can be nerve-wracking. So I kind of see it as like we're trauma bonding with this like we're going through this like fearful experience together and we'll never forget this. So I'm like, wow, like I know this person, or like, oh, like I would talk about like my past experiences with poetry out loud and acting with like other people who do this with me. Like I would like talk to other people. I'm like, oh, like last year, like this person did this, or like, oh, like last performance with this play, like this person did this, and it's like that connection that you have with like not only the past people who done it with you, but like the people that you have now doing with you, and I find that fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. Yeah, I like the fact that you're seeing competition as a way of like bringing folks together rather than like the competition, pushing people farther apart. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. What are you thinking about the future? What like if in your wildest dreams, if you could do anything, not like practical decisions, but like wildest dreams type decisions, what would you want to do with your future?
I've always been towards filming and acting in like anything. Like that's always been like my set mindset. I'm like I'm either gonna be in front or behind the camera, or I'm gonna be on a stage. Like I want to be like out there because I've always been so like secluded as a kid. Mm-hmm. So like maybe like now I'm like really out there now and I'm more involved with a lot of things. So that's what I want to do.
That's awesome. Well, like being an artist, you got to have the seclusion and then you got to be able to connect. So it sounds like you got both. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Daniel, can we talk to you next? So Daniel, I was wondering, like so far today, what has surprised you about the experience, or what have you noticed today so far? How's it been for you?
Lots of amazing poems, amazing people too. It's overwhelming.
For sure. What's something else? Have you been into poetry for a while, and what else other things that you're into?
So right now, I've tried taking this because I liked reading poetry. It's a pastime of mine. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, I am actually trying to pursue aviation mechanics.
What similarities do you see? Really good.
Big words.
That's awesome. That is like the closest association I could see between those two things, right? And like some level of precision, I would imagine, for sure.
Oh yeah, and you gotta remember that all of the bylaws, just like reading poems, don't understand any of it at first.
Right, but then through practice you get it. That's awesome, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Isabella, could we talk to you? How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, good. So, like, we know that, we all have our ideas, but for you personally, between the two poems that you read today, which do you think is your favorite?
Oh, that's actually a really hard one. I spent a lot of time looking at both of them and thinking if I had to do one, what was my favorite, but I think In Heaven, just because it was the first one I picked for this, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah. How did you pick that one, or how did it come to you?
So I was looking through the website for poems, and I picked that one, and then I read it, and then I didn't understand it, so I left, and then I came back to it, and I kept leaving and coming back, and something kept drawing me to that specific one, and then I eventually just that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that idea, right? Of like, so often it feels like, we have this expectation of like getting it when it comes to a poem. It's like, oh, poetry, I just don't get it. I've heard folks say that before. But to me, I have that same experience where sometimes like a poem like gets stuck like in my, like with me and like keeps working on me over time. You think your relationship with that poem has changed over time?
Well, yeah, at first I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay, a poem, and then as I kept coming back, I kept rereading it again and again, and eventually I felt how heavy the poem actually felt to recite and speak and feels. So at first I didn't care for it, and then it ended up being something that resonated within me really deep. I really like it.
I think that's super interesting. So thank you for sticking with something that at first wasn't comfortable or like didn't call you immediately, because I think that that's like a valuable skill in itself. So thank you so much. Cadence, can we talk to you? How's it going, Cadence?
Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's sweet. All right, so what do you enjoy most about poetry?
Well, I write poetry myself. I think I enjoy how much feeling and emotion goes into it. And like when you're reading it, sometimes you don't understand it, but sometimes you're like, wow, this is like sad, or wow, this is awestruck.
For sure. So how did you come to it? How did you first start writing poetry?
Well, I have a twin sister, and she went to Writers Club at my school, and she was all like, Cadence, you gotta go to Writers Club. And so I started writing poetry when I went to Writers Club.
That's awesome. As a parent of twins, I love that story went in a positive direction right there. Because the first time I was like, okay, I was like, my twin, I could just see it going many different directions. So that's awesome. Do you have a favorite poet or poem besides the ones you read today? Or maybe it could be one of the ones you read today?
Well, I think my favorite poem, well, I haven't done much reading of poetry. I've been focused on memorizing and practicing, but I think out of the ones I read today, my first one, The Darker Sooner, is my favorite. I mean, that one was my one that got me here, but also I kind of just like, I feel like I relate to this. I'm not sure.
Was there a particular reason, or was it just kind of a feeling?
Well, the whole thing about that poem, I feel like, says, I'm mad because I lost something. So, which I feel like I've felt that before.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for sharing some with us. Thank you so much. Milka, can we talk to you next? And they're like, I guess. And then I ask how they are, and they're like, it's fine. So I won't ask you how you are.
Great.
Great?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the work you put in today. You mentioned that you are passionate about volunteerism. Is there a community effort that you're most passionate about, or what is your volunteering center around the most?
Yes, I'm very involved in my church. So at church, I do a lot of things that can count for community service hours at my school. So I work in the nursery with kids that are 0 to 2 years old. I work with Faith Sprouts, which is a ministry where you work with 3 to 4-year-olds. I also like to sing, so I'm on the worship team. And at school, there's a girl named Millie Messing who created a company called 100 Plus Teens. And every now and then we have a charity meeting where we choose a charity that we're going to donate our money to, which I find is really fun.
That's awesome. Do you feel like there's, for you, are there like connections between kind of like this poetry process and some of the work you're doing, that work? Do you feel like they overlap at all?
Yeah, the aspect of patience. I like, with kids, you have to learn how to be patient. With poetry, you don't get it at first, like everyone's been saying, but if you take the time to appreciate it, I think you'll find like the hidden meaning, I guess.
For sure, yeah, I feel that. I feel like sometimes when I'm reading a poem, I'm just like facilitating an experience for folks. I'm like, welcome to this poem, right? Which is kind of like how it is with teaching as well. What have you enjoyed about being involved with Poetry Out Loud this year?
I think every year, because I've been doing it since freshman year, it pushes me out of my comfort zone. I'm not really big on like performing or like being in front of an audience, but I think over time, like practicing has helped me work on like my stage presence and like speaking to an audience comfortably, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. You know, I think that that's one of those skills that we all have to do in our lives sooner or later, and it's so much, so helpful to be able to do it like here in an awesome room of people supporting us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Milka.
Thank you.
Madeline. Hi, Madeline. Hello. You mentioned, and I was interested in this, you mentioned that you want to create your own animated series one day. Is this true?
Yes, that is in fact true.
Oh, yeah?
It has been my dream since I was a kid. I grew up with watching like cartoons and shows, and I also got into art as well. And so I was really inspired by animation and creating animation to tell stories, and they're kind of just my own personal projects I want to do, and that's kind of what I do, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you do illustration yourself?
Yeah, I do. I draw a lot, like too much. I have a sketchbook right now. But yeah, it's just been my dream since I was a kid, and yeah.
Real talk, I saw you doodling earlier before the
Yes.
competition started, and I was like, yes.
That's what I do all the time.
That's awesome. That's good. Do you combine words with that, like as far as like going towards like comic strips or graphic novels sort of idea?
Yeah, I want to help my friends who want to create like webtoons or something like that. I also like to create pictures relating to like how I'm feeling, or that kind of ties in with poetry since it's all sentimental, and I don't know what I mean, right? But you know what I mean, guys? But yeah, so I draw an awful lot, and I'm trying to get into animation. Animation's hard, but I'm working on my skills right now. That's really what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, well, you know, that thing that they say about being an artist is you just don't stop. You know,
Yeah,
you just keep doing it.
An art block is the worst thing ever. But so yeah, just practicing like constantly, and that's what I do in my free time.
That's cool. Do you have a favorite author or poet? Maybe somebody who does visual stuff as well?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of good ones out there, and I can't really pick a favorite because there's too many to name, and there's just way too many. But yeah.
For sure. Yeah, there's such interesting intersections happening right now. As a person who's like does both visuals and poetry myself, like going up into the library here and asking for recommendations for poets who are working visually. There's just such really cool stuff happening. So
yeah.
Best of luck with that. Thank you for telling us about it.
Thank you.
Juliana, could we talk to you? Thanks for talking to us.
Of course.
How many times have you participated in Poetry Out Loud?
This is my first year.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
How's it been for you so far?
I honestly really enjoy it. I miss performing because I was always used to performing. I used to be in dance, so it was like something I would have to do, like perform every week.
Yeah.
So I left that for a while, so now it feels like good. I miss being like back on stage in front of people, just expressing, and this is like something that I can do with that.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about that. I'm always interested, like, how does, for you as a performer, the difference between like being in a dance mode or being in this mode? Is it like similar, different?
It's both. It's similar in the way you in both you entertain people, you share a story as well, but it's different. One is with movement, one is with words. I had gotten used to expressing like with movement, telling story only with movement, and now I have to like use my voice, and that was a little tricky at first, but then once you connect with the words or you form your own words, I feel like it comes more easier.
Yeah, I feel that. I used to hang out when I first started doing poems, I used to hang out with people who played in bands all the time, and I secretly really wanted to be in punk rock bands. But I was doing spoken word, and I was like, man, I wish I could play the guitar. And they're like, I can never do with what you do because my guitar is like my shield to like shield me from the audience. And if like you would take that away, it would be like a whole different experience. So it's interesting, like coming to words from movement. And you're from Rio Rico High School, right?
Yes, I
That's
am.
cool. Being from Southern Arizona myself, it's great to see folks here from that way. What are other things that you're into or passionate about?
I just really love art, and that comes in many ways. Like I consider dance is art, poetry is art. I also like to take photography. I love photography. That's also a form of art that I love doing, and also painting. I just like anything where you can share emotion, tell a story. For me, anything that's connected to that is considered art, and that's something I really love.
Yes, I love that we're seeing again like the connections and how things are similar rather than how they're different, right? Because I think we're in a time now where all those genres and modes can blend in a way that maybe in the past we were told, no, you have to do this, you have to do this. You can do many things. Keep doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That was so great. Aren't they awesome? Thank you for answering my questions. It's one thing to come up here and have like memorized and well practiced the thing you're gonna say. It's another thing to have to come up here and just talk about yourself. So thank you so much for that, y'all. All right, are we ready? Yeah, are we feeling ready? Ooh, I'm being handed something. Wow, it says top 3 on it. It's from the Poetry Center. I wonder what could it be? Oh, yeah, okay, don't look at it, don't look at it. All right, here's how we are going to do this, y'all. We want to thank, first of all of our performers for giving such compelling and entertaining performances. Really, we hope that you enjoy being part of this whole process, not just today, but the whole thing. And that the experience of bringing this like poem into your lives and the lives of other people around you has been a reward in of itself. And so we know that poetry is a subjective experience, and yet poetry out loud is a competition. And so I'm going to announce the 3 winners who will go on to the Southern Arizona and to represent Southern Arizona at the state finals. But first, like we're talking about connection, we want to acknowledge all of the participants. So students, when you hear your name, I'm going to ask you to come up, and judges, we're going to ask you to come up as well, I believe, or maybe just from there. Okay, from here. So what we're going to do is, students, as you hear your name, please come shake the judges' hands and see Hema and Sophie. We have certificates for you here because really making it to this stage is already winning, to be honest with you. And we can cheer on all of these students. And then once you shake hands and get your certificates, we're going to kind of line up here, y'all, and take some photos real quick. So first of all, round of applause for all these performers, including Isabel Taran, Daniel Sweezy, Isabella Roof, Cadence Rish, Milka Gaima, Madeline Chapman, and Juliana Alvarez. I love that this thing's on wheels, so I can just like awkwardly scoot to the side. All right. Okay, it's photo time. This is the chance. You can even turn on your flash and just blind them now. It's fine. All right, here we go, y'all. I have opened the envelope. Representing Southern Arizona at the state level in Flagstaff, Arizona, Northern Arizona University. In third place, give it up for Madeline Chapman. No, oh wait, yeah, Hema has that for you. All right, awesome. In second place, Juliana Alvarez. And in first place, Isabel Toran. Once again, thank you so much to all of our Poetry Out Loud partners, the Arizona Commission on the Arts, the Poetry Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts. Thank you to Coco, our DJ, to our featured performer, Paola, and to our wonderful judges. One more time, round of applause for them. Thank you for supporting young people, youth voice, by being here today, and all that you do in your life. You are appreciated. And please say hi to these performers, congratulate them, celebrate them, and thank you for being here today. We'll see y'all later.
Hey yo, we was having a ball, and you know they asked me to get on the mic, and they asked me, can I kick it? Word. Can I kick it?